Hey guys, Stacy here from the Christian Gaming Channel, bringing you a brand new episode of Mario Kart Wii. And today we'll be playing as the Mii again. I don't know, I just like Miis. They're fun. And if I'm not mistaken, we're going to be using the Zip Zip. That's the correct name. And we're going to be going through the Mushroom Cup. The way I'm doing the first four initial cups is we went from the Flower Cup to the Shell Cup, now we're going to the Mushroom Cup, and after that we go to the Banana Cup. I feel like it kind of keeps the tracks a little bit more fresh. At least them being in a different order kind of makes it feel a little bit better. Hopefully I can do a good order for the back half of this game as well. Hopefully. Anyways, as you can see, in Luigi's Circuit we have so many different Mii things now. That's kind of what I was talking about last time we saw the Mii in this Let's Play. The Mii replaces a lot of stuff in certain tracks, including the statue heads. Which I just think is a nice touch. Makes it feel more unique and personal to that person's experience with their Miis. Thankfully, Lord helped me get a fairly smooth ride out of this Grand Prix. I always kind of dread 150cc. It's not even a skill issue, I don't think. It's more or less just the RNG and the chaos of it all. You can get Mario Karted very easily. Especially when you have a tendency to fall back into defensive gameplay like I do. I've said it once and I'll say it again, I'm not a very aggressive player. I'd prefer to completely beat the CPU or other players just by sheer skill, rather than using items. Items do involve some level of skill. Some of them, not all of them. But some of them do involve skill, so I won't take that away from it. But I just prefer that sheer determination of, you know, good lines and just making sure you are the fastest you can be. Granted, the skill ceiling is nowhere near CTR, but I don't know of too many kart racing games that are that high of a skill level. And now we have Moo Moo Meadows. Again, so we have a farm track in Mario Kart 64. We skip out on that in Super Circuit, and I think Double Dash. The 64 version gets brought back in Mario Kart DS, and I would assume that's because they didn't have that many retro tracks to go to, so they just kind of dealt with what they had. And now we get this track in Wii, which got remade in 8. It's a very strange level of consistency with the farm tracks. And it also comes back in Mario Kart World, but in name only from what I can tell. Also, I did not know that you could just take out a Mega Mushroom player with a star. That was so interesting to me. I've never done that before. Don't think I've ever had the opportunity to. So honestly, I just thought that was really cool. Well worth the star used to learn that kind of information. But going back to the cow track. While I don't own Mario Kart World, I have watched videos on it, like I think I've mentioned prior. And from what I've seen of that version of Moo Moo Meadows, it doesn't look anything like this version. I'm not sure if the layout's the same or not. It doesn't seem like it is to me. So I think it's kind of an in-name only thing, where it vaguely resembles an older track, which seems to be the case for most of those quote-unquote retro tracks, even though I don't really consider them retro tracks. The only one that I've seen in the video so far is... what's the name of that one? Airship Fortress. That one looks more or less identical to the old one. That's just some credit I'll give back to Mario Kart 8, at least when they remade the tracks. They were good, even if it was kind of an in-name only thing like World does. 8 just made those tracks look so good. Usually when 8 remade the tracks and it was just name only, it was far superior to the original version. From what I've seen, I can't fully judge the game because I've never played it. Probably won't ever get to play it unless a friend buys that system and game and I get to try it out with them. But, you know, outside of that, tracks from my outsider perspective don't look all that great as far as the retro tracks go. They're definitely not as good as what Mario Kart 8 would have done with them. That's just me. I still think Mario Kart 8 is probably the most graphically impressive Mario Kart game to ever been released. I do wonder what a more skill-based Mario Kart would look like. If you took the more party game aspect out of it, but made it far more skill-based and mechanically deep. I wonder how that would look. It might look something more similar to CTR, mechanically speaking. I don't think Nintendo would ever go that route. They have an established formula, obviously. But it would be interesting just to imagine what they could do with a mechanic like that. If we're talking about old Nintendo anyways, like GameCube era, that was pretty decent. And also got a blue shell dodge. Thank the Lord I got that, because I know this is a complete side tangent, but I can't time blue shell dodges in this game. So the fact I got one is a miracle, and the Lord helped me with that so much, because I am terrible with that timing. Back to the other thing, I think even the best Mario Kart there is could never hold a candle to a CTR-like game as far as mechanics go. How do I put it in words? They're so much more mechanically deep and rewarding if you take the time to learn the system. Mario Kart is great pick-up and play as well as CTR, but you try and dig further into Mario Kart, you typically can't go very far without doing any kind of glitchy stuff, or stuff that doesn't seem very much intended. Look at all the ultra shortcuts that have been exposed in Mario Kart Wii. That kind of thing doesn't really exist in CTR. Every shortcut you find is more or less either intended or it doesn't feel like you're just outright glitching or cheating the game. It feels like you earned that shortcut through sheer skill instead of using glitches, which does take skill, I won't deny that, but it feels like a different kind of skill set compared to having very deep understanding of the mechanics of that track and the mechanics of your kart. I guess the long story short with this is we need more mechanically deep kart racers. I mean, Team Sonic Racing kind of is mechanically deep if you actually got yourself invested into the team mechanics. Doing skim boosts and slingshots and all the other kind of little pieces that add up to the whole of that game. I feel like there could be a very good skill ceiling to that game if you had a dedicated team of players that would actually play that game. Also, that was very unfortunate because we got shocked twice. Very sad. But it kind of worked out for me because everyone else got shocked too, so ultimately it kind of just helped. Because the second shot kind of just doesn't... The second shot did not stack on top of the first shot, which is a very good thing, because I would have been in a very bad position, but like I struggle with talking. especially when I'm trying to talk about something that I'm trying to explain. The shock was good because it hit everyone else, so that way I wasn't completely left out of, no, forget it, I can't explain it. Just know that it was helpful. And this is just unfortunate. I can't get a drift, and my steering is just terrible right now, and I fell into a hole. I don't know how many people actually fall into that hole. It doesn't seem like a very common place to fall into. Here's where I made a bit of a mistake. I should have held on to that bill just a little bit longer. Because if I did, I would have been able to dodge a shock that's coming up fairly soon. If I held on to that bill just a bit longer, I might have been in a better position. Ultimately, though, 8 isn't the end of the world, because if we look at the stats, I still come out on top. Thank the Lord, because I really dislike having to do re-record stuff. And for those of you who think I need to improve on my commentary or something else, please tell me in the comments how you want me to improve, because I have someone that has commented in the past that I should improve my audio or commentary, something along those lines. And I asked them, how do you want me to improve? They never responded, so I'm kind of left out in the dark. So if you guys know how I can improve, please let me know. I would very much appreciate to hear it. Just make sure it's constructive criticism and not just one word. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video, and remember, Christ is King and Jesus loves you. Bye.